So you've been doing life on a certain level and it's no longer satisfying. You know that there's more. You see that there's more. But for you, for some reason, more hasn't been possible. Or at least it's not been possible in your own mind, where it matters most, right? Today I want to share with you this analogy that I believe is going to help you to take the necessary steps to begin to address those areas in your life where you desire improvement and which will allow you to realize all that is possible in your life. So, the analogy that I want to share with you today is I was coming out of the gym this morning after a training session, and I thought to myself, I actually had the idea for this video. I thought to myself, man, there is a massive difference between exercising and training. For those of you who are unaware, I'm a certified personal trainer. And when I got into training and I got into fitness, that was one of the first things that I discovered. Some people exercise and some people train. Now the difference between this, and stick with me, I'm going somewhere with this. Exercise, actually everyone does. This is exercise. Movement. If I'm moving, I'm exercising. All of us, right? Or most of us, the majority of us, we get out of the bed in the morning, we're exercising. Every time you walk, you're exercising. If you are moving, you are exercising. Training, however, is a very specific approach to exercising. It means that you're moving your body in a very specific way. We call it modalities: powerlifting, hypertrophy training, balance, stability, and the list goes on and on and on. There's very specific ways that you can train the body. And when you are training, the major difference between exercise and training is when you train, you're doing a very specific exercise in a very specific manner over a very specific amount of time in order to achieve a very specific outcome. Training is specified. It's specific. For example, if I just wanted to exercise, I could just get out here and walk, right? I'm overlooking my favorite park. I come here and I walk often, almost every day. If I just wanted to exercise, I could just come here and just walk. That's exercising. But let's say, for example, I wanted to grow the size of my bicep. Okay? I'm not flexing. I'm just letting you know. Okay? I'm just using this as an illustration. If I wanted to increase the size of my bicep, I would have to go into a gym, or at least I would have to acquire weights heavy enough that if after doing enough reps of that particular exercise, let's say a bicep curl, then over time, hypertrophy with the proper nutrition and with the right amount of reps and sets and rest and hydration, some of these different things that go into it. But the point is, I can't just go walking at the park and get bigger biceps. It's not going to happen. I can walk as much as I want. I can walk 24 hours a day, literally for a year, and my biceps aren't going to grow. See, training says I'm gonna look at a very specific area of the body, and I'm going to target that area for a very specific outcome. Well, in life, the same is true. Everyone's exercising. Why? Because everyone's getting up in the morning and breathing. Our default mechanism is to exercise, is to live, is to just do life. And so that's why you can just continue to do life and things never change, never get better, because you're not training in the context of life. You're exercising in the context of life because you're doing the bare minimum. You're doing whatever comes to mind. You're doing what you've always done. You're doing what comes easy, what comes naturally. You're not doing anything that's specified. Now, here's the good news. As it is in the gym, as it is in fitness, as it is in nutrition, so it is in life itself. We can train in life. We can literally train our brain to acquire new information. Just like you do a number of sets and reps over a period of time with the physical body, you can do sets and reps over a period of time with the greatest muscle that God's ever given us, the mind. You can literally train your brain in all sorts of fascinating ways to acquire new information, thus new inspiration, which leads to thus new implementation, which leads to new manifestation in your life. And the manifestation, don't get caught up on that word. The manifestation just simply means to bring forth from something internal to something external. That process happens over time, right? Just like the physical bicep, there's something called growth hormones, DNA, all sorts of things that are internal. They're microscopic. You can't see them on the inside. But through science and through research and study, we understand that our bodies are built with certain things within us, hormones within us, that allow for expansion and growth of a given muscle group, a strengthening of a particular muscle group, if we train it over time, if we give it reason, if we trigger the growth, if we give it reason to grow, we can actually grow our physical muscles and change our physical body. In the same way, if you give your mind reason enough to grow, reason enough to change, it will comply, it will grow, it will expand, it will increase in whatever area that you want to train it in. So here's the good news. If there's an area in your life that you're not happy with, where you're not further along, an area of your life where you would love to do better in, you can begin to train it. How do you train it? The same way you train the physical body, exposure. If I want my bicep bigger, I have to expose it to weights heavy enough to trigger the growth hormone that is within it. The mind has potential. It just needs a reason. It needs resistance. It needs something new to be introduced to it over time, something heavy enough. That's called revelation, new perspectives, new ideas, something that knocks you off your socks, right? Knocks your socks off, something that knocks you off your feet, something that you never knew, you were never exposed to until you did one of two things. You read it, or actually one of three things. You read it, you hear about it, you hear it, or you witness it, you experience it. And so you can train your brain through those three modalities. You can begin to read books, and I encourage you to do so. They can be physical books or audio books, it doesn't matter. You can read on that particular area of your life. Now you may be saying, man, that's so elementary, yeah. Most people don't do it. Most people fail to pick up a book and literally read that book cover to cover, take notes, and implement on what they learn. Most people don't. We either never buy the book at all, or we pick it up, we thumb through it, and push it to the side, and it starts to collect dust. Or we might be disciplined enough to actually read it, possibly take some notes, but then we never implement it. We never put it to work in our lives. So the same is true of anything else. You can read these things, take notes, and put it to work in your life, in that particular area of your life. You can listen to. There's millions of people that specialize in educating you around that thing, whether it's in a typical institute like a school or university. We got online courses. We got people that talk about it and make videos about it on YouTube. We got all sorts of universities and focus groups, meetup groups, right? So you can listen, you can hear, you can take in information about that thing. Every time you do that, you're exposing your brain to something new, and it's expanding. Your brain, your mind wants to expand. It's awareness. It wants to learn, but you got to give it something heavy enough to trigger the growth. It can't be the same old, same old. It's already used to that. It's already on default, right? It's already on autopilot. So you have to challenge the brain, challenge the mind with something new. You got to do that, right? Challenge it with something new. And then lastly, experience it. You can put yourself in experiences that's retreats, conferences, going around places and spaces that involve the thing that you're looking to grow in the knowledge of and the ability to practice, right? So putting yourself in those experiences. Read it, listen to it, see it, experience it. So I hope you get the point. Hope you get the message. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Really, at the end of the day, the good news that I'm sharing is everything can be learned, man. Life is learning. You live what you learn. If you haven't learned it, it's hard to live it. And if you're living it, it's only because you've learned it. So if you don't like what you're living, acknowledge that it's because it's what you've learned. And if you want to live something new, acknowledge that all you got to do is learn something new, right? Learn it, live it. If you're not living it, learn it. If you're living it and don't like living it, learn something new. But the mind wants to learn, and the mind wants you to live according to that which it's learned. So you are able to do that. All right? Love you guys, praying for you guys, believing in you guys. Until next time, guys, please continue to love yourself, love your creator, man, and love those that are around you. All right? Be good.